8 o'clock, rolled out of bed. Don't got my face on yet. Got my Amish bun going on. You know, I mean business. I'm about to go do some fasted cardio. Got my BCAs in hand, my headphones, and my key card to get in the clubhouse. I'm just here at Creekside, just gonna do some cardio because I don't know, I just felt like it. I felt like starting my Saturday morning off like this. I love doing fasted cardio. I usually do about 45 minutes if I do fasted cardio. And it's just a really great time. This is when I like to catch up on my YouTube videos, on social media, and I just enjoy it. So that's what I'm about to do right now. I think I'm gonna do like interval sprints today. Like, I think I just set it on the treadmill for, I don't know, I think it's basically like 3 minutes run and at an incline and 3 minutes walk or something like that. So that's what I'm gonna do. So this morning started so I could eat breakfast. From doing my fasted cardio, and now I'm about to hammer down on some waffles, protein waffles. So how I like to make my protein waffles, I use different flavors of Cellucor's protein powder, but today I'm going to be using the whipped vanilla. So what I do is I use 1 whole scoop of the whipped vanilla, so it gives you about 25 grams of protein, and then I'm going to use half a cup of these Kodiak powder cakes. And then half a cup is the actual serving size that's on the box. It gives you 2 grams of fat, 30 grams of carbs, and 14 protein. I put 1 whole egg in mine, and then I use the almond unsweetened vanilla almond milk as my liquid, and I just kind of pour it in there. It's usually about equal parts. Like if you use a cup of the Kodiak cakes, you usually use a cup of like almond milk or water. I just kind of pour it until I get a consistency that I like, and then I'm going to use a little bit of the vanilla extract. I like to put this in like almost anything when I'm baking, or like even protein powders. It just gives it like that extra like good flavor. So that's what I'm about to make right now. This is probably my favorite like post-fasted workout, fasted cardio breakfast is waffles. I just love waffles, and I usually eat it either with Walden Farms pancake syrup, or I use this Mrs. Buttersworth sugar-free. The macros on it is pretty good too. For 1/4 a cup, which I don't even use that. I don't even use half of that probably. Is 0 fat, 8 grams of carbs, 0 protein. So it's basically just all sugar, sugar alcohol. But you know what I'm saying? If you're just trying to save a few calories there. But and as you can see, I like to stack my waffles, and I just pour like some syrup in there, and I don't use a fork. I just tear it off like a little kid and just dip it in my syrup and eat it because I'm still a kid. So this is what the meal comes to. Comes to 46 grams of protein, 35 grams of carbs, and 10 grams of fat. And then if you're people who look at sugar and fiber, 7 grams of fiber and 4 grams of sugar. Still, that's what those protein waffles entail. So a good bit of protein and carbs. Just what I like to have, a whole lot of protein and carbs after I do anything fasted. Alright, so we're just going to jump right into the Q&A. I'm really going to try to answer these really short and sweet. Try not to ramble too much because I do tend to get scatterbrained and ramble on about answering any questions. Just because there's just, to me, a lot of times there's so many answers to one question, but I'm going to really try to just really answer a question very short term. But I have my YouTube pulled up. That's where a majority of the questions came from. And I'm going to try to say your name when I state the question, or your username on here. So please beware. Please excuse me if I butcher your name. So I apologize. Okay, so the first question that I'm coming to is from Bella 2020 Love. Her question is, have you ever had cellulite, and what do you suggest to get rid of it? Do you think it's possible it can go away? Okay, so I think it's first important to know that cellulite is fat. That's all it is. It's just fat that is on the surface against the skin. Cellulite is just a fancy word that someone came up for the fat that shows through your skin. But you don't have fat and you don't have cellulite. It's all fat, so it's just all the same thing. It just shows in different areas if you have more fat in certain areas on your body, or if the skin where it's being shown is a little bit thinner and not as thick as in other areas of your body. So cellulite is just fat. And how you get rid of fat, you mainly control it through diet. You have a lower fat diet. You're not overeating over your calories, over your macros that should be for your body. Also doing fat training or fat loss training exercises and workouts. So that doesn't mean cardio only. That means weight training, and that means heavy weight training incorporated with cardio and a consistent, healthy, well-rounded diet that is lower in fat and lower in carbs. That's how you're going to get rid of fat. And you can't spot target fat loss. So, some people are like, oh, I just want to lose fat in my stomach area or just in my legs. You can't spot train or spot, target fat loss. But overall, if you have a lower body fat percentage, you're going to get rid of that fat loss. And you're going to lose fat everywhere else too. Maybe in some areas you don't want to. Like, for instance, for a lot of women, they lose a lot of their fat in their breast and in their booty. But you can't spot train getting rid of fat. But again, the main take-home point is cellulite is fat. And yes, I do have cellulite. I carry most of my weight in my legs and in my butt. So yeah, I have cellulite on my legs and on my butt. It's not like crazy bad, but yes, I do have fat in those areas. So let's see, what does your typical weekend routine look like, such as workouts, schoolwork, friends? If you go out with friends or out for drinks, how do you stay on your nutrition regimen? So my weekends kind of depend, especially right now I have a lot more time since school is over for me. So I do have a lot more time to go out with my friends. And let's see, we'll just go to like staying on my nutrition and drinks. So when I do go out, most of the time I try to do like intuitive dieting. So I don't necessarily, if I'm not in contest prep. If I'm in contest prep, that's another thing. I really try to stick to my diet, even on the weekends. Even if I do go out to eat, I pretty much try to get something that is almost, if not equivalent, to what I am eating in my contest prep. But if I'm not in contest prep like I am right now, I think because I allow myself to go, a little off the wagon on the weekends because I'm so good during the week. Like I'm really on point in my diet during the week and my workouts during the week. So when the weekends come around, I can splurge a little bit more, and that's just how I personally like to do it. But if I go out with my friends, like I go out to eat wherever they want to eat. Most of the time I do like intuitive like eating, so I try to go for like the healthier options. Like, I always go for a protein source, of course, whether that's chicken or fish or steak. Most of the time, I try to get it grilled or baked or something. I try to usually get like a vegetable in there. But if I want to have some bread, if I want to have some heavier carbs, a lot of times I'll do that. And as far as drinks, I'm really not a big drinker anyways. Even when I do go out with my friends, if I do drink, I'll have like one drink, then I'll drink water. I'll have another drink, I'll drink water. Like I alternate water and drinking most of the time. I would say my go-to drink, if you are kind of watching your calories or just, watching your nutrition and your diet, the best thing to do is get a vodka water and get one of those Mios that, the flavorful squirt Mios that you can get at the grocery store that just like flavors your water. And I'll like bring that. Or a lot of my friends are bartenders actually here in Auburn, so they always have some back behind the bar. Or in their purse, and so vodka water with a little squirt of whatever flavor Mio you want, that's going to be the best for your figure at least. But I'm a beer drinker, so a lot of times I drink beer, but I don't drink a lot when I do go out, and I don't drink enough that often, so it doesn't really hurt me as much. But I have a good time. I don't try to hold back. And even so, a lot of times too, if I don't feel like drinking, I just say no. If I don't want to drink, I won't have a drink. Everyone's like, why aren't you drinking? Blah, blah, blah. You're being like a pansy and all this stuff. And I'm just like, I don't want to. That's the end of it. You can say no. And as far as workouts go, usually I work out pretty consistently Monday through Friday. Sometimes I work out on Saturdays just for funsies. And I kind of do like whatever I want to work on. Like if I feel like, most of the time I work on my weaker points like my shoulders or like my glutes and my hamstrings. That's what I'll do a lot of times. And I'll add in like maybe some cardio. But I don't know. It just kind of depends. And as far as schoolwork, but I don't have any schoolwork now, but in the past, my schoolwork always came first. I would continue, like on Saturdays, I still got up at like 7 a.m., got my day started, got most of my schoolwork done that I could. So if I did want to go out that Saturday night, I felt really good about that. I got, I was responsible and I was productive that morning with my schoolwork. I got what I needed to get done, and then I went out with my friends. That's kind of how I guess, balance my weekends. Hope that answers it. That was kind of a rambling one. Okay, this is from, I'm sorry, that was from Jenna Tamburino. I told you I was going to say the names of this. The next one is from Faith Dubose. Do you remember meeting me in the wellness kitchen back in the fall? Also, how long did it take you to see progress in your physical appearance when you started weightlifting? Faith, yes, I do remember meeting you, because I remember it was after a home Auburn football game, and I had literally just rolled out of bed wearing, I'm pretty sure, one of Cody's t-shirts, hair up in a messy bun, and the makeup from last night. So you met me at my finest hour. So yes, I do remember meeting you. And okay, so your question was, how long did it take you to see progress in your physical appearance when you started weightlifting? Okay, so this one's kind of tough for me to answer because I've always been in sports and cheerleading, competitive cheerleading. So I've always been athletic and like fit, I guess, but my diet has never really been there. And I will say this, even in my most athletic condition, I look way better now than I did then because my nutrition is so much better. Like, I'm no longer just eating like whatever I want on the go. I'm actually educated now about my diet, and so that has made a world of difference. And even when I started doing contest prep, when I incorporated proper training and proper nutrition, that's when I started to see like a big difference in the way my body was shaped. Because I always kind of thought like, well, this is just how my body is shaped. Like, I will never look like that. But until I started doing proper nutrition and proper training, that's when my body started to transform. So I would say when I started to notice a good physical appearance with my weightlifting, probably about 2 years ago, when I really started to get, more educated about what I was doing. And yeah, I would just say about 2 years ago is when I really started to notice a big difference. Okay, so from Healthy Kelsey, I like your name. How do you balance going out with friends and having a few drinks and your lifestyle? I'm in college and I'm always curious as to how different people handle those situations. I think I kind of addressed that in my last question, but like I said, I'm personally not a big drinker, and I don't have to drink to have fun. I am a sociable drinker though. If it's a big event, if it's a celebration, I'll have 1 or 2 drinks, and I'm fine with that. I no longer am at that stage in life where I drink to get drunk. My other friends, on the other hand, they may do that, but I'm always kind of like the mom in the group, so I'm always watching how much I am drinking, and I crave water. I honestly, when I go to a bar, I want water. I usually start with water first, and then I move to a drink, whether it's beer or, again, vodka water, and then I drink water throughout the night. That's just how I do it. Occasionally I'll have a little more drinks than I want, and I'll have, pretty good buzz, fun time going on. But I never just get to that point where I just overdrink myself. I'm just not at that point anymore. Mainly because I don't have time to waste a whole nother day recovering from that night. That's mainly it. But again, I'm not really a big drinker, so it doesn't really interfere with my lifestyle that much, and most of my friends know that I'm not really a huge drinker anyways, so I'm pretty lucky that I don't get pressured a whole lot to drink all the time. Okay, from Katie K. I am 300 calories under maintenance with 13% body fat. That's really low. And my abs are showing, but they're not quite six-pack yet, but I don't want to get any skinnier or lose more weight. Should I stay under maintenance to get them to pop or increase to maintenance? Okay, so this is kind of hard to answer because, again, everyone is different. Mainly to get your abs to pop or to show, you are going to have low body fat. I personally always kind of have like a lean stomach. I've always had kind of a naturally lean stomach, but when I really lower my body fat percentage, they pop. And, again, that comes with nutrition. Nutrition is going to be your number one factor for having abs. You can do as many ab exercises as you want, all day, every day. You're not going to have abs. Everyone has abs. Let me just correct that. everybody has abs, but it's the layer of fat that's over them that determines if they show or not. So that is why you have to have proper nutrition as the number one thing for your abs to show. So again, you can do as many abs as you want, but if your diet is not on point, your abs are not going to show. But for your question, I wouldn't go, if you start to go to maintenance, then that's probably gonna lessen your chance of lowering your body fat. So I probably wouldn't do that if that's what you're wanting to do, is have your six-pack abs show. The main thing, you're gonna have to lower your body fat, and also make sure you're drinking lots of water throughout the day, so you flush it all out by the end of the day, so you start over the next day, and it's just kind of like this continued cycle. Lots of water drinking, that always helps with abs too.